with us.
That's right.
Hello.
Hi. You know, we should name this. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Because we were just saying we don't know what we're going to start with today.
Yeah, we were like, what should we start with? We're like, I don't know.
It's summer and it's vacation time and it's fun and it's sunny. Finally, it's not raining outside, which we've had a lot of that.
Yeah, just keeping up with the mowing. Like when it rains, so I live on an acreage right now, right? And like the weeds, like you just think you've just got, and because you have so many places for them. And then all those little helicopters flew everywhere.
Yes.
So then you have the volunteer maple trees everywhere. And then you have the one that you didn't get. And all of a sudden you're like, why is that bush that? Oh, because there's a whole tree inside of it that you didn't cut off or pull when you.
Yes, I get them in my egress window. Those volunteer trees, and I'm like, well,
really?
When you get above the egress, then I'll pull you out.
Pull you out.
I have to chop you down, but I'm like, I'm not going to hop down there. But anyway, yeah, that kind of is annoying.
It is.
But I have a cottonwood tree or two gigantic cottonwood trees, and you know what they do is
snow. Looks like snow.
Yeah, so I have to have
gutter guards. Gutter guards
because they just get full of that
crap. Oh
yeah. So I have to kind of apologize to my neighbors. Now this year wasn't as bad as last year. For the snow, for the cotton.
Because the rain was like keeping it all smushed up.
Yes, because last year I literally got my snow shovel out and I shoveled my driveway. It was so full of that cotton.
That,
yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. So I get a lot of volunteer little cottonwood trees, not maples. Yeah. So that's kind of annoying, but anyway. So yeah. So you just got back from a vacation, and
I did. Yeah, you have a.
I'm going next month.
A little staycation, and you're having a little mini girls' vacation, like you know that one day. Those are awesome. Those one days, like revive and spend some girl time.
It is. Yep. And I've got a work trip in August, so. Yeah, so we go lots of different places, but we're still working, and you know, a lot of people go on vacation and think about maybe I want to stay here. Yeah.
Actually, I was just saying on my plane, there's the Caribbean life, right? So people go places, and then they're like this last one I watched, they were from Pennsylvania, and I thought, oh, like Iowa, they were tired of the cold weather and just having such cold. So, you know, they just went and bought a place in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, my God.
It's like,
okay.
Oh, you know, most people do that.
Right.
That's why I think sometimes those shows, I'm like,
just write a check.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's most people that do those kind of things. So we were talking then, just because we were talking about vacations and we were like, well, Ames, Iowa, where we kind of live and breathe most of our time, doesn't really have a lake or something like that. But we have a lot of
rain too.
That's true. Under the bridge.
Sorry.
Then they put a boat there. It's not a lake officially, but
but yeah, that's true. I mean, you don't look at Ames or Central Iowa as a vacation destination or a second home destination.
Yes.
But truly, there are a lot of people that come here to buy a second home or a retirement home.
Yes.
It really is amazing that you don't really realize that. I mean, we just worked with a couple this week. Yeah. You know, Randy and Nancy bought their second home.
Hi, Randy and Nancy.
What's it going to be? Ames. Eventually, at some point, it will be their primary residence. But right now, they're getting ready for that next step, and their son is here in town, and they're big Cyclone fans, and so they're thinking, hey, we can just walk to the games now.
I know, that's really nice.
So, you know, and there are a lot of people who've retired from rural areas around the state. Kids have relocated to, you know, North Carolina, Oregon, Texas. Like, we'll just be in Ames because we have to go travel to any of them anyway. So,
so an airplane can go wherever you need it to go.
Exactly.
So, easy. And I think that's nice about Iowa in general is that, you know, an hour or two, you really can get a long ways, and it's pretty easy to get around. But,
but second homes are something that a lot of people think about, and you know, whether it's Ames or is in Phoenix or wherever it is. I mean, we can help you in that second home process. Just with my network of realtors, and Lisa can do loans out of state. So. Some loans.
And so I think it's really something that people, like I said, whether you're thinking about it somewhere else.
Yes.
But I think that there are people that we have people moving from different areas.
Somebody moving from Tennessee next month.
For like that second home, And what does that look like in the financing for it? I mean, you do have to, I mean, when it's your second home, you know, sometimes you don't have as many options as that full-fledged
that
primary residence.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people are like, oh, I'm going to have it as an investment property. No, if you're not renting it out and things like that, it really is a second home, and it does have to be, you know, 60 miles away from your current. I mean, there's some little things in there because of it. They don't want a second home is different than an investment property. Your interest rate is better. Your down payment isn't as much. I mean, so you have a lot of benefits in your second home. And so they do want to make sure it's far enough away from your primary residence that you really are not looking at it as an investment property, because then that would be mortgage fraud and nobody wants to get thrown in jail and pay high fines. So, unless
you want, you know, 8 by 10 and 3 meals a day.
Yeah, and that bright orange jumpsuit.
Exactly.
Don't want that.
Yeah, don't want that. No. Exactly. I'm being told when to go to bed, when to get up. No thanks.
What you're eating.
Yeah, exactly. So when you are doing a second home, so is it 20% down?
Nope, you can do 10%
down. Isn't that great? That's huge.
It is huge because sometimes when you're buying that, like I will say, a lot of people that are looking at a second home maybe have investments, they have other things, and they might be pulling their monies from a different place because typically you already own your first home.
Right.
So it is your second home. And so sometimes they think, oh, but I don't have the 20% to put down towards that second home. You just need the 10% down. And it can come from a lot of those, like a lot of people do pull it from different areas.
Okay.
To have that.
And so your interest rate is better than an investment property.
Yeah.
Terrific.
It's pretty similar to
a primary. Yeah. So if you're even thinking about that, do some investigation and you know, having a second home obviously is a little daunting depending on how much time you think you're going to spend there, where you are, where you're close to retirement or not, or whatever. If you just want to be close to the Cyclone games.
Yeah, Cyclone games.
Yes.
And we do have some lakefront property around us, but typically
that's not why people move here.
That is not why people move here. No. But if you're in the area too, and you're thinking, oh, well, we always go here.
Well, yeah, especially, I mean, I know people who have purchased a townhome.
Oh.
Because they're here for like the weekend.
Yeah.
For several weekends a year because they come for events, games, visiting friends or whatever. So it's kind of like a weekend home almost for them. So with a townhome,
that maintenance is taken care of.
The maintenance is taken care of. You can just lock the door and come back in 2 weeks if that's
and your lawn is mowed.
Exactly. So that's another option to think about too, is what that maintenance is going to be on that second home. If you're going to have somebody living in it, or if it's just going to be your, you know, truly a vacation respite place for you, and you just want to come and go, then a townhome is a great option.
It's a great option.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you guys have any questions on that second home process, what that looks like, what available, because sometimes when you're looking for your second home, you might be looking for something kind of specific, too, for what your wants and needs are, kind of like with Randy and Nancy, but just looking for something specific. I mean, use your resources and ask the questions, and might be right for you. And then otherwise you might be like, nah, you know, but at least you kind of got the information and the knowledge that you need.
Exactly, because sometimes that decision for a second home is a longer process. You might be thinking 3 to 5 years down the road versus, you know, in the next 6 months, where a primary is a little bit more timely. So just start your research now and think about what you want, what you might want to do, and how you're going to finance it. And we can help you out in all those aspects.
We can, because it might, don't think, oh my gosh, I shouldn't even talk to somebody because I might not be for a few years.
Right. Start the process now, because even just asking questions can really help you down the road as to answer some questions that you haven't even thought of, or are thinking, well, I don't need to know that until 3 years from now. But you might give you some food for thought before you even get started on the process.
Right.
So
So ask away.
Yeah.
We're here.
Have a great weekend.